The Ctheran survey vessel materialized in Earth's orbit without warning, its crystalline hull shimmering against the backdrop of stars. Commander ZYX-Tal stood on the bridge, his forearms crossed in a gesture of mild annoyance. After 30,000 years, they had finally returned to retrieve what should have been a simple cargo drop.
Scanners confirmed the coordinates, his navigator announced, her bioluminescent spots flickering nervously. Third planet, same gravitational signature.
The supplies should be exactly where we left them.
ZYX-Tal nodded.
It had been a routine expedition back then, a standard archaeological survey of primitive worlds. Their cargo vessel had experienced a catastrophic engine failure and crash-landed on this unremarkable blue planet. The crew evacuated safely, but their ship and supplies remained behind. The Ctheran Empire, stretched thin across multiple wars, had simply logged the loss and moved on. Now, in an era of peace, the Reclamation Bureau had finally authorized a retrieval mission. After all, the supplies included rare minerals worth billions of credits and archival data from 12 extinct civilizations. More importantly, Ctheran law required all lost vessels to be recovered. It was a matter of pride.
Begin descent protocol, ZYX-Tal ordered.
This should be quick. The planet was inhabited only by primitive mammals last time we checked.
The descent went smoothly until they breached the upper atmosphere. Commander!
The navigator's voice pitched higher. I'm detecting thousands of artificial satellites.
Electromagnetic signals everywhere. Radio waves, quantum transmissions, something called the Internet.
ZYX-Tal leaned forward, his primary eyes widening.
Impossible. Run a temporal verification.
Confirmed, sir. Only 30,000 years have passed.
But the planet, it's completely different.
The viewscreen flickered to life, showing vast cities glittering with lights, roads crisscrossing continents like neural networks, and strange flying machines filling the skies. But what truly shocked them were the massive structures in orbit, space stations, defense satellites, and what appeared to be armed vessels.
They achieved spaceflight, ZYX-Tal whispered.
In 30,000 years. For context, the Ctheran civilization had taken 400,000 years to reach space. Most species took at least 200,000.
This was unprecedented.
Sir, we're being hailed, the communications officer reported.
Multiple frequencies. They're quite insistent. Put them through.
A human face appeared on screen, a woman with dark skin and sharp eyes, wearing what appeared to be a military uniform.
Unidentified vessel, this is Space Force Command. You've entered restricted airspace without authorization.
Identify yourself immediately or you will be engaged.
ZYX-Tal composed himself. I am Commander ZYX-Tal of the Ctheran Reclamation Bureau. We mean no harm.
We are simply here to retrieve property that belongs to us, a vessel that crashed here 30,000 of your years ago.
The human woman's expression didn't change. 30,000 years?
Commander, under international and interplanetary law, that's well beyond any reasonable statute of limitations.
Whatever you left here is now property of Earth. Preposterous. ZYX-Tal's secondary arms gestured wildly. We have documented evidence of ownership. The vessel and supplies are ours by right.
Commander, the woman said coolly, I suggest you land at the designated coordinates and discuss this through proper diplomatic channels.
Otherwise, I'm authorized to escort you out of our system. ZYX-Tal wanted to laugh. Escort them out? These primitives?
But then his tactical officer whispered urgently, Sir, I'm detecting over 300 weapon locks on our position. Their technology is surprisingly advanced.
Swallowing his pride, ZYX-Tal agreed to land.
The meeting took place at the United Nations Interstellar Relations Facility in Geneva. ZYX-Tal and his diplomatic team sat across from a panel of humans, Americans, Chinese, Russians, Europeans, and representatives from a dozen other nation-states he'd never heard of.
Dr. Sarah Chen, a Chinese-American archaeologist, pulled up a holographic display. Commander, let me show you what happened to your supplies. The image showed a cave in what humans called France.
Inside were paintings, crude but unmistakably depicting a crystalline vessel in the sky, and strange four-armed figures. Your ship crashed during the Upper Paleolithic period, Dr. Chen explained.
Our ancestors witnessed it.
They incorporated it into their mythology, their art, their religions. Your vessel became the basis for countless legends, gods descending from the stars, chariots of fire, divine visitors. Another image appeared, a massive stone structure.
This is Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, built 11,000 years ago.
The architectural techniques used here shouldn't have been possible for people of that era.
We believe they reverse-engineered some of your technology. ZYXTAL felt his stomach churning. Where is our ship now?
The American representative, a stern-looking man named General Morrison, leaned forward. Your ship has been disassembled and studied for the past 12,000 years. Components of it influenced the development of metallurgy, electronics, and eventually quantum computing.
Your medical supplies taught us about genetic engineering.
Your data archives, the ones containing information about extinct civilizations, became the foundation for our understanding of the cosmos. In essence, Dr. Chen continued, your abandoned property became the catalyst for our entire technological revolution.
Without it, we might still be banging rocks together. ZYXTAL stood abruptly. Then you owe us. Your entire civilization was built on stolen Theron property.
The room fell silent. Then, Dr. Yuki Tanaka from Japan spoke softly.
Commander, with respect, you abandoned us. You left your technology on a planet inhabited by sentient beings and never came back. For 30,000 years, we thought we were alone in the universe.
We struggled, we fought, we nearly destroyed ourselves a dozen times.
But we survived. We learned. We grew. And we did it without any help from you or anyone else.
Russian Ambassador Petrov added, your ship and supplies were payment for 30 millennia of cosmic abandonment. We didn't steal from you, you left us with nothing and expected us to remain primitive forever.
The British representative, Ambassador Wellington, adjusted his glasses. However, we're not unreasonable people. We recognize your historical claim, however tenuous.
We're prepared to offer compensation.
A contract materialized in holographic form before ZYXTAL. His translator worked overtime processing the legal terminology. You're offering technology licenses? ZYXTAL read in disbelief. You want us to pay you for the right to use technologies we developed?
Technically, Dr. Chen said with a slight smile, technologies you abandoned and we perfected. Your quantum drives were impressive for their time, but our Alcubierchan drives are 17 times more efficient. Your medical nanobots were revolutionary, but our biosynthetic replacements have zero rejection rates.
General Morrison pulled up another display. We've also improved your weapons systems, your shielding technology, and your artificial gravity generators. We're willing to share these improvements for a reasonable licensing fee, of course. ZYXTAL sat down heavily, his forearms trembling. This is extortion.
This is business, the American general corrected.
You came here expecting to find primitives grateful for your return. Instead, you found competitors.
Welcome to Earth, Commander.
We've been waiting for you.
3 days later, ZYXTAL stood in what humans called the Smithsonian Museum.
In a massive hall, behind reinforced glass, sat the reconstructed remnants of his people's cargo vessel. A plaque read, the Theron gift, catalyst of human advancement. A human child tugged on her mother's sleeve. Mommy, why did the aliens leave their spaceship here? The mother smiled. They didn't mean to, sweetie. But sometimes the best gifts are the ones we don't plan to give.
ZYXTAL turned away, his pride wounded but his mind racing.
The Theron Empire needed to know about this. Humanity hadn't just achieved spaceflight, they had weaponized curiosity itself.
They had taken abandoned scraps and built a civilization that could stand eye to eye with species that had evolved over millions of years. As his shuttle lifted off from Earth, ZYXTAL composed his report. He would recommend immediate diplomatic relations, technology exchanges, and whatever it took to keep humans as allies rather than enemies. Because if humans could do this much with 30,000 years and some abandoned cargo, ZYXTAL didn't want to imagine what they'd accomplish in the next 30,000.
The primitives had become apex learners, and the galaxy would never underestimate Earth again.